Amanda here. Long time no see. I'm really sorry that I just stopped posting during 31 days of Halloween, but if I could just reenact this year for you. This is how I feel like this year has been.
Oh, you think you're stressed now? Just wait.
And then this is my reaction. And scene. I know, amazing, I should be an actress. I'm just sorry that I couldn't finish the videos for 31 Days of Halloween. I had a video idea for every single day. I was really excited. I had a lot of fun working the first half of the month. And then it just happened, you know? And then I needed that week to prepare for the next week because I was getting married, and the week I was having the wedding, obviously I had to just run a ton of errands and be on phone calls and go to meetings and things like that. So that week I was just crazy busy. But I'm back now. And so we will either save those videos for next year if they were specifically October related, but then the other ones I think that I'll just use throughout the year because it's always Halloween over here on my channel, so it's okay. But anyways, I really do apologize for just dipping out on you guys. I'm hoping that no crazy major life events happen and that we could just have a calm rest of the year and I can continue uploading. But anyways, this is what happened. We were getting ready for the wedding and I wanted to use books that I could destroy and mess up and use as my decor, my table decorations. And so we went to the dollar store because they did have some at my used bookstore that were already ripped. I think they were 50-cent books, but they didn't have any at the time, and so I ended up just going to the dollar store. And as I'm destroying these books, my husband's like, "Do you hear that?" I'm like, "What?" He's like, "The books in your office are crying because they hear you murdering their family." And I didn't want to do it. However, I still paid for the books, and hopefully some of that goes to the writers, so I don't feel as bad as I would if I were destroying a typical book. They weren't books that I would read, but it is what it is, and I had to use them and they turned out fantastic. But my whole point of telling you this is that as I was at the dollar store, I don't know if it was, okay, so it's a 99-cent, no, it's a Dollar Tree. As I was at the Dollar Tree, I don't know if it was Halloween, I don't know if it's because it was October, I don't know if it's because it's spooky season, or if they just have amazing books, but they had the coolest selection of horror books, and I have to show you what I picked up. I mean, they had a lot of books that just look so amazing. But let's just get into this because I think I've talked long enough. Okay, so the first one that I picked up at the dollar store is called The Dark Beneath the Ice. This is by Amalinda, I'm gonna say this wrong, I already know I am, Berube, maybe? This is what it says. It says, "Who can you trust if you can't trust yourself? Something is wrong with Marianne. It's not just that her dad has finally left, or that her life hasn't been the same since she quit dancing, or even that her mother has checked herself into a hospital. She's losing time, doing things she'd never done before, and the face in the mirror doesn't look like her own. I'm getting goosebumps reading this. This sounds so fun. Marianne's not sure what to believe. Is something after her, or is she following in her mother's footsteps? Marianne doesn't trust herself, but she does trust the only person she's willing to try to help, the daughter of a local psychic. But the more the two dig into what's wrong with Marianne, the more that the line between the nightmare and reality is blurred, and Marianne has to figure out what's real before she loses everything." It just sounds so creepy. It sounds like such a good book. And then the little tagline here is it real or a nightmare? And I'm going to come back to this author in a second, but does this not look like such a fun book? $1. I just can't get over how amazing these books are for $1. So I'm really excited about this guy. The next one that I got is called H2O, and then the little tagline here is, "It's in the rain and just one drop will kill you." And I love this cover. Look at how freaking cool this is. Look at how it opens up in the back. This is all yellow matching the cover, and then it's in the shape of a teardrop or a raindrop. This is so cool. This looks amazing. Obviously so much work went into this. This is by Virginia Burgeon, and it says, "Creepy and realistic, H2O left me thirsting for more." So this one says, ".27 is a number Ruby hates. It's the number that marks the percentage of the population that survived. It's a number that means that she's one of the lucky few still standing, and it's a number that says that her father is probably dead. Against all odds, Ruby has survived the catastrophic onset of the killer rain. 2 weeks after the rain started broadcasting the warning, 'It's in the rain, it's fatal, it's contagious, and there's no cure. The drinkable water is running out.' Ruby's left with 2 options. Preserve on her own or embark on a treacherous journey across the country to find her father, if he's even still alive." And so, yeah, this sounds really interesting. Obviously, it's more of kind of like a, pandemic type of book that maybe I won't read this year, but I think it looks really interesting and I'm excited to dive into this guy. I love the cover. The cover really caught my attention. These little details, I just think this is so cool. So there's that. Let me make sure you're still recording because sometimes you're a little hoe and you stop recording. Okay, this one's called The Other Mother, and this one is by Carol Goodman. It says 2 mothers, 2 babies named Chloe, and 1 giant web of lies and deception. It wasn't supposed to be like this. That's what Daphne Marist says at the first meeting of her new mother's group. Daphne is wildly in love with her baby Chloe, but she's also plagued by fear and self-doubt. So when her fellow new mother, Lauren Hobbs, strikes up a friendship, Daphne is thrilled. Laurel, whose daughter is also named Chloe, is everything Daphne isn't: confident, charismatic, and sophisticated. She encourages Daphne to join her gym, highlight her hair, and eat kale salads, and soon the 2 women start to look alike, dress alike, and talk alike. But Daphne realizes only too late that being friends with Laurel will come at a price, one that she might not be willing to pay. So this one definitely seems like more of a thriller than just a straight horror book, but it sounds really interesting, and yeah, I thought that this one was really awesome. It's funny because, like I said, we just went in to buy books for the centerpieces, and my husband's like, why do you have a stack of 10 books? I'm like, they look too good, we have to buy them. And he just, rolled his eyes. This is the next book. This one is by Camilla Lackberg, and it's called The Lost Boy. So this one says, Detective Patrick is no stranger to tragedy. A murder case concerning someone's dead financial director, Matt Svervin, is a grim but useful distraction from his recent family misfortunes. It seems Svervin, a man who everybody liked yet nobody really knew, a man with something to hide. His high school sweetheart, Nathalie, has just returned to this town with her 5-year-old son. Perhaps she can shed some light on who Svervin really was. However, Nathalie has her own secret. If it's discovered, she will lose her only child. As the investigation stalls, the police have many questions, but there is only one thing that matters. Is there anything a mother wouldn't do to protect her child? So again, probably more of a thriller book, but this sounds awesome. It was $1 again. I can't believe it. The thing that I really like about the bookstore is you get a lot of books that were written in other countries, and that's just not something that's normal in our bookstores. Unfortunately, we really don't get to access a lot of writers outside of the US unless they're, best-selling authors. And so I just love the fact that I could walk into a store and find an author. Like, let's see where this one is based. I'm pretty sure it'll say Stockholm. I really love that we get to experience other writers with dollar store books. So this one sounds really awesome too. Let me make sure you're still recording, because you're about to die. I almost just ate shit. Okay. Okay, so the next book is called The Serbian Dilemma. I don't know, because it says in Arkady Renko novel, author of Gorky Park, Martin Cruz Smith. This cover just caught my attention, and I was like, I have to have that book. I love, again, the attention to detail in these books. So this is obviously a map of where the story is taking place. So this one says that the choice is simple for Arkady Renko. Okay, so this must be a series centered around this character, and then Martin Cruz Smith is the writer. All right, that makes sense. Plunge into the dark and limitless Siberian forest in search of a woman who seems to have scorned him, or stay in Moscow, working as a senior investigator for the Office of Persecution. Tatiana Petrovna, a well-known journalist, had set out to write an expose on the oligarchs of Siberia, but she has not returned. Arkady pursues her in Siberia, where he learns that she has fallen under the spell of a wealthy political dissident who threatens Vladimir Putin's rule. Although that man seems like the perfect candidate to take on the corruption of Russia's politics, he has his own disturbing and deadly secrets. In a land of ice, sea serpents, bears, and would-be murderers, Arkady must find a way to get Tatiana and himself out alive. So again, this one just sounded really interesting. I don't know if this one's probably more of maybe a thriller too. Again, just like the pictures, the attention to detail in these books, I think is really awesome. Next up, we have this guy. This is by Jamie Mason, and it is called The Hidden Things, a novel. This one caught my attention as well because the front cover, so it's a picture of, it looks like a wall with a flashlight shining on it, and the cover feels textured like a wall. I'm telling you, these books are so cool, and it's just such a shame that there are so many writers out there that their books just don't get seen. So this one says 28 seconds. In less than half a minute, a home security camera captures the hidden resolve in 14-year-old Carly Liddell as she fends off a vicious attack just inside her own front door. The video of heroic escape appears online and goes viral. As the views count climbs, the lives of 4 desperate people will be forever changed by what's just barely visible in the corner of the shot. I'm getting goosebumps again. These sound so good. Carly's stepfather is spurred to protect his darkest secret. How a stolen painting 400 years ago by a master of the Dutch Golden Age has come to hang in his suburban foyer. The art dealer left for dead when the painting vanishes sees a chance to buy back her life, and the double-crossed enforcer renews the hunt to deliver the treasure to his billionaire patrons, even if he has to kill to succeed. But it's Carly herself, hailed by a social media hero, whose new perspective gives her the courage to uncover the truth as the secrets and lies tear her family apart. This sounds like a cool book. Again, probably more of a thriller, but fun nonetheless. Now, the last book I want to talk about is actually the same writer as that Dark Beneath the Ice, the first book that I picked up. So this one is called Here There Are Monsters, again by Amalinda. It says, "They took my sister, I will take her back." And the back just says, 16-year-old Sky is done playing knight in shining armor for her insufferable younger sister, Deidre. Moving across the country seems like the perfect chance to start over, reinvent her life. In her isolated new neighborhood, Sky manages to fit in, but Deidre withdraws from everyone, becoming fixated on the swampy woods just behind their house and building monstrous sculptures out of sticks and bones. Then, Deidre disappears. And when something awful comes scratching at Sky's window in the middle of the night, claiming she's the only one who can save Deidre, Sky knows that she will stop at nothing to bring her sister home. This is a story of sisterhood turned toxic, imaginary monsters brought to life, and secrets that won't stay buried. So as you can see, I have already started this book. I'm very behind on all of my reading, but this is the last book that I will be reading for the dollar store books that I will be ranking. That video will be coming soon, but I have really enjoyed this book so far, and it really does remind me of a tamed down version of like Paul Tremblay's A Head Full of Ghosts. It has kind of the same feel to it, although this one, the writer says it's a YA novel. I'm not really sure what separates a YA novel from just a plain fiction, if it's just stories about younger children or what, or if it's just, it doesn't really seem like it's written for kids, so I don't really know. Let me know if you guys know down below. I guess I could have Googled it, but I didn't. But I have loved this so far. This writer is really fantastic, and if you guys see this at your local bookstore, for sure pick this up. But yeah, this is the last book that I picked up from this round of the dollar store books. I got so many great things. Let me know which book you think is the most interesting, and have you guys gone to your local 99-cent stores, dollar stores, and seen if they had any books available? If you guys have it and you have a Dollar Tree near you, I highly suggest checking it out, skimming through their book section, and seeing if you could find any good horror/thriller books, because these look fantastic. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for forgiving me for just ghosting you for a few weeks, but I promise I am back and I'm ready to turn up the horror and just have a great end of year with a bunch of horror novels and movies and just awesome fun. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, for sticking around, and I will see you next time with another horror video. Bye guys.